So welcome back everybody. It's your girl Mo Heavens, and today I'll be sharing a story that touches the heart, if you like. But I'm always encouraging you guys. I always say you can live your dreams. We can live our dreams. Let nothing hold you back from living your dreams. Just go for it. It is possible, and with God, all things are possible. But then we need to be careful how we live our dreams. You don't want to rain on someone else's parade to live your dreams. And as human beings, we're just generally selfish people. Even without us realizing, without us even thinking about it, we're just naturally selfish. And so we just want to be mindful of things we do in while we go about living our dreams. Now, this story happened a long time ago. I was in my early teens, and this story must have happened in about 1992 or 1993. I remember I was in JSS 3, and I was just trying to discover myself, as it is typical of every young teenager. And in my secondary school at this period, the in thing was the press club. Apart from the fact that it was the in thing, it was just something I was interested in. I've always been interested in media and stuff like that. And a friend of mine, and you see, at this period, the members of press club mostly were the senior classes. They were like the SS3 students, and SS2, SS3, and I was just in JSS3. I had a friend that had a sister in SS3 and was in the press club. She was also in the press club, and I wanted so much to join the press club. So I went to her and asked her, how do I join this club? And she told me, well, the easiest way to join the press club as a junior student is to be able to bring stories, go scout for news, write them and submit. When you keep doing that, they see that you are potential, and then you're considered. And so I quickly started looking for news everywhere, news around school. Right, so because I was desperately going to get into the press club, whatever it was going to cost, it was going to take me, I was going to get into the press club. And so I started to scout for news. So I stumbled on two of my colleagues, my JSS3 students. I didn't actually witness, well, did I? I think it was towards the end of the fight. There was a fight between two students. And when there is a fight and it had calmed down, I didn't get to witness the fight at the peak of it. So it was when things had calmed down a little, people were making their way. They had probably settled the fact. Well, they didn't settle technically, but it had calmed down. I didn't get there at the heat of the moment. So I then asked someone, what happened? Someone told me, oh, you needed to have been here earlier. See the way that one said this, see the way that one said that. Someone else told me that it was because of a boy, or it was a boyfriend issue and all that. We're still in JSS3. It was a taboo to be heard off, well, in public. Of course, we all know when we're in JSS3, some of us had boyfriends, but what I mean is, it's not something you come to the open and say to everyone that I have a boyfriend, and stuff like that. So it was news. It was good news. Well, it was news for me. And so very quickly, in fact, I didn't know I was that good. I remember the way I worded it. I remember it was on the 12th of it was noted, but things that I normally didn't even think I could put together, man, I put together. In fact, when that story got submitted, the editing wasn't a lot. It was just very few things I was taking off and replaced. So it meant I did a good job, because I was so desperate. I wanted to get into press club. And so my news was submitted. Of course, they liked it. It was good. Well, it was good. It was news, and it was something that was catchy. And in fact, I wrote their names, I wrote their classes, I wrote everything. You know, it was just, I wanted to get into this club and I was going to do anything. And so on Friday, because that's when we get to listen to the news in school, I was on the assembly and press club. People came to do their newscasting and they did, and then they got to this point. And you see, when they were just saying it, in my mind, I was like, hey, you know, there were butterflies. I was like, hey, could I get in trouble? But you know, I was just so uneasy. Anyways, they finished reading the news, and there was this particular teacher, very, very strict man. Then he got very interested in the news because, again, one of the students, well, I think the two of them that were involved in this fight were students of his own private coaching center, and so he got very interested, and I think he had a relationship with their parents, and so he wanted to get to the root of the matter. So he called on the press club officials. He started investigating, where did you get this news from? He called on the students involved, you know, started to query them and all that, and they said there wasn't anything like that. Yeah, they had a fight, but it didn't have anything to do with the boy, and they explained what it was that caused their fight and all that. And so the teacher was so mad, he wanted to get to the root of it. Now, press club officials called on my friend. Oh, it was so person that gave them the news. Okay, my friend then went to me, was me that gave it, and then, okay, where did you get this news from? And I was like, I was just stuttering because there wasn't anything to say. Really, I did not go out to defame their characters, so to say, but it was what I heard, and because I didn't find out, you know, I was too desperate to just get whatever it was and just make headlines and get into press club. That was just what was on my mind, without thinking of others, what that piece of news could do to their character and all that. So I got called on, you know, I was interviewed, you know, there was just so many things. And I did, okay, at least the press club official had somebody to point to, and the other person had someone. Okay, in my own case, I then pointed to, it was somebody that told me, but that was very vague because, you know, even if anybody had told you, it was just word of mouth. It wasn't like it was in the news or anything. Anybody could have said anything. So I was in serious trouble. Everybody, in fact, they named me as a culprit that wrote the fake news, and, you know, everybody knew that, oh God, this girl. So whenever people are gathered and I just go there, they're like, press club, and then everybody keeps quiet. It was really, really a traumatic period for me. But, you know, on the flip side of it, press club loved me. You know, they said, okay, we'll take you into this club, and, you know, that was how I joined press club. And, you know, I did a lot of things while I was in press club that I enjoyed, but then I learned a serious lesson, even though the officials were blamed that regardless of whoever brought in any form of news to you, you needed to have still found out if it was true, do your investigations and all that. You know, the way it actually works in real life, where people come up with different news and then you find out, oh, that news wasn't real and all that. You know, we needed to have verified just to be sure that this news was true and all that. And so I learned a great lesson through that experience, because that teacher did not spare me. In fact, I thought it got me lashed. You know, it wasn't a very funny period for it. And, you know, a lot of people looked at me and were like, you this girl, you have an innocent face, and then you keep going about getting people's affairs and then taking it to press club and all that. But, you know, it was just because I wanted to get into press club. I just got any news, anything I got, for me was good enough. I just wanted to get into this club. And so that's the story. Now, the lesson I want you guys to take from it is, as much as I advocate and as much as I try to encourage people that we can live our dreams, we can do whatever it is we put our minds to. We also need to be careful that as much as we're trying to work towards that dream, just be careful. Be careful. Know that whatever you're doing to live your own dream, remember that you don't want to hurt somebody else. You don't want to rain on their own parade to get to your own destination. I understand sometimes in life, things happen like that, where without you planning or anything, you might, how do I say it? They say, what's that Yoruba proverb that it has to do with, I can't really remember how it is exactly, but basically it's about someone who prepares coffins would always pray for people to die. And so if people don't die, you would not sell. So yeah, sometimes life is so weird like that. But I'm talking on simple things as going for a job interview, getting a job, simple things as like what I'm doing now. I just like to make my videos. I just like to say things I want to say, just simple things like this. Just let's be careful. Let's be very, very careful that as we go on in our day-to-day life, let's be careful that we do not then rubbish other people. And this is the end of my broadcast for today. I hope you've been blessed. Remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mo Heavens. Remain blessed.